The Strange Tale of the Determined Crocodile, written by Zall Lincoln and illustrated by Randon T. Eddy. Sanibel Island is a sunny island. It is off of the Gulf Coast of Florida. Herons, spoonbills, pelicans, osprey, and wood storks fly above. Fish jump in the bayous. Alligators, lizards, and raccoons roam. The Strange Tale of the Determined Crocodile. Some people said, "Go home, Wilma. Crocodiles don't live this far north. Go back to the Everglades." Some people called her Wilma. She traveled through Sanibel's waterways and lived mostly in a special place that was her home. It is called the J.N. Ding Darling National Wildlife Refuge. Some people called her Wilma. She moved to Sanibel Island some 40 years ago. She was 9 feet long and 10 years old. Some people called her Wilma. The people treated her well. They watched her. They watched out for her. Wilma weathered many storms, hurricanes, and cold weather. Some people thought she should live in the Everglades. The Florida Everglades was a safer place for crocodiles to live. The Florida wildlife officer took her back to the Everglades. Each time, she found her way back to Sanibel. She was a very determined crocodile. Some people called her Wilma. There were plenty of turtles, raccoons, birds, and small alligators to eat. She built nests and laid eggs every year for 20 years, but none of her eggs ever hatched. She laid eggs in unusual places. People came to watch over them. They placed barricades across the road at night so cars wouldn't run into her while she was resting in the middle of the road. Some people called her Wilma. One time, she chased a female alligator away and adopted her 16 newly hatched baby alligators for 5 days. Then the mother came back. People kept records and reports of her comings and goings. One day, a newspaper was delivered to a house that was much too close to her nest. So, the very protective croc mom picked up the newspaper in her teeth and delivered it to the front door where it belonged. The Ding Darling tram driver always tipped his hat to her when she was basking in the sun along Wildlife Drive. Some people called her Wilma. Bike riders waved to her on their journeys through the Ding Darling Reserve. People always respected Wilma. After all, she was a wild and dangerous reptile. They stayed a great distance away from her. January 2010 was an unusually cold month in Florida. January 26th was a sad day. It was a very cold morning. Wilma was found dead on the pathway to the conservation center. She was a very cold-blooded animal. Cold-blooded animals can't live for very long in cold weather. They are different than warm-blooded dogs, cats, and people. Hundreds of alligators and other reptiles died in southwest Florida during those unusually cold days. Sanibel residents were sad and shed many tears. They had lost their most famous crocodile resident. Some people called her Wilma. Most people loved Wilma. A memorial service was held one afternoon on the porch of the Sanibel Captiva Conservation Foundation. Wilma's many friends came and told stories and shared pictures of her. All of the 200 guests toasted her with Gatorade and said goodbye to Sanibel's most determined crocodile. And that's the story of Wilma, the Strange Tale of the Determined Crocodile.